Alright, we've got James Tedford with us, the club secretary, who's going to give us a little update on a few things that have been happening at the club. Obviously, the pitch is one of the things that's been a talking point for the last week or so, James. Do you want to tell us where we're at with it and what's actually happening?
Yeah, definitely. We obviously were all singing, all dancing in the summer, and we invited fans in to watch the build take place, and we're extremely proud that we're investing so much into our pitch, and what we were promised was one of the best pitches in the league. I think we've not had the problems to seek in terms of the pitch, and it's rather visible, the problems that we've had. We had an independent report carried out last week, and we've issued that, or distributed that amongst the main key holders in the pitch, which would be the consultant, the contractor, and obviously Everton. We can't really discuss too much about that report, as they haven't had time to digest that yet and give them a chance. Plans are in place to rectify the issues that we have with it, but we are in the midst of a winter sport. We're in the middle of a season where if it's construction in your house, you can move out for a couple of weeks, and we can't do that. We have to keep playing football matches. It was documented very well over the weekend with Everton's 23s game here on Friday against Chelsea in the women's, that the pitch was looking like a beach. We put 80 tonnes of sand on the pitch on Friday, and that was done at Everton's request, and it was based on feedback from our own players, Everton's men's team and their women's team, where players were running from different levels of surfaces, where they're going from grass and then into the middle where it was a bit, probably we say, more muddier than other sections. Players didn't have confidence in it, and that's where injuries will start to take place. When the sand went down, we knew aesthetically it would look horrible, but it was to make it a much better game of football. We have a truer bounce. The ball runs across the whole surface evenly, it doesn't stop in certain bits. One of the match officials on Friday was actually the match official we had here at Chester on Boxing Day, and he commented, although again it doesn't look great, it feels much better to run across. The pictures we've seen at the weekend and the pictures you'll probably see today, over 4 days, is completely changed. The sand is starting to go into the soil where it's meant to be and not lying on top.
Yeah. We'll put some pictures out actually as we go through this. And it's. Do you think there's been too many games played on it? Because we seem to have been playing on some occasions on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, we've been unfortunate in terms of Everton's fixtures, particularly the 23s, where in December and January a lot of their league matches were scheduled, and equally they play in the League Cup and the Premier League Cup, or the Premier League Cup, and both of those tournaments have to be finished by the end of January. So we've had a lot of fixtures here. We've been grateful to Everton, both their 23s and their women's team, and by having discussions with them, they've moved some of their games away from here to help the surface. We have very few Everton games now between now and the end of the season, where it would be better to spread them around. However, we can't avoid the fact that for the investment we put in the pitch, it should be able to drain, and we shouldn't have the problems that we are currently having.
It's a valuable source of income though, isn't it, the Everton money that comes into the club for playing on the pitch, so it's a catch-22 really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean the relationship we have with Everton is better than it's ever been. You look around, we've got the stewards here that we use, we have options of using Finch Farm and things like that, so we have a far better relationship than we ever have. And the finances that come in far outweigh any problems that we have. But we have to understand that this is Southport's football pitch. It needs to be there for Southport matches, and that's why we put that investment in, was to secure everybody's sort of interest on that surface. Yeah.
If I remember rightly, it was probably one of the Southport games that killed it, wasn't it? Because that game against South Shields, when the rain just absolutely hammered.
We had a torrential downpour about 5 o'clock that night, and the pitch was saturated in water. That's then where you start to see these brown marks appearing, or the ball now gets stuck, or we don't have a true bounce on it. I think it was after then we then had the ground sheets come in. Although the rain covers sit over at the far side, they've only been utilised once, and that was the build up to the Boxing Day match. We haven't had another need to use them, but obviously they are there should we need to protect the pitch and get matches on.
Lovely. Okay, James, thanks for that. Should we talk about another one of your favourite topics? I know you love talking about toilets.
I love talking about toilets.
Every day you've been here, I think toilets have been an issue. So, do you want to give us an update where we're up to on that?
Yes, we spoke about in August when we started getting the pitch that we would obviously get the toilets done at some point during this season. It has to be finished by this coming August. We will start them on the 3rd of February. We'll start with the Jack Car toilets first, in particular the ladies' toilets behind the Jack Car. They're not the most pleasant. I think the Jack Car's been up for, what, you can correct me, Rob, 10-15 years. It's been up for a long time, that stand. So there's been no investment in those toilets. Currently we have one female toilet, one male toilet, and then the far side of the jack car is the same. We will amalgamate the women and men's into one big female toilet. We have the stanchion behind that supports the stand that runs right across the cubicles, so they'll all be moved around to make them a more pleasant experience. We, from speaking to females who use the toilets, particularly at the end of the main stand, they're quite happy to queue up for 10-15 minutes as opposed to go use the ones in the jack car. So it's important that we get them done first, and then it's going to be phased. So we'll start with them, and then in between games we'll start moving around the ground and finishing with a disabled toilet at the end of the main stand.
So they should all be done by, hopefully?
I'm hoping within 3 months.
Good.
That's the plan. So definitely by the end of the season they'll be complete.
Yeah, good. And one other thing I think you want to tell us a bit about the Footlights, there's some projects on that as well.
Yes, we've received some criticism because we have some bulbs that are out. When the Footlights were put in, it was the cheapest of the cheapest option that was selected. It's not just a case of dropping the floodlight and changing a bulb. There has to be a hydraulic ram that comes in. That was never purchased when we purchased the floodlights. You probably remember back last year we played Solihull in the FA Trophy. Not long after I'd started, with a significant amount of bulbs out, so we paid just over £5,000 to hire a ram to get it here to lower the floodlights. We found when we lowered them that it wasn't the bulbs, it was a trip switch, and when these lights have been put in, you can't access the trip switch without lowering the floodlights. So it's not a simple job. It's not a case of let's just load and put a new bulb in it and we'll get on with it, because we would do that every time a floodlight or a light went out. So we are purchasing in the next couple of weeks our own ram, so we can drop the lights as and when we need to and change them. It's not great that when you look at them that we've got, I think, 20-30% of the lights out, but our Lux rating, in which we are our stadium certificate is graded on, we're still far higher than any other ground due to the amount of lights we have. It just seems to be rather congested. It's one corner in particular that's a bit darker than the rest, but in the next few weeks you'll see those lights starting to come back in again.
Oh good, okay, that's fantastic. Is there anything else going on at the club that you need to talk about? We're pushing the online tickets, aren't we, all the time? That's something I know we like to get to.
Yeah, I spoke about this in the programme note, but I appreciate not everybody buys a programme. When we're at the games, we always want to go with online ticket sales. It helps us, and we give people a reduction for buying them. And probably as an offside, people don't understand that when they pay in cash, we have to bank that, and we're then charged again on banking cash. So if people can, please buy online. Take benefit of the discount for a match day. You can buy up until 11 o'clock.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, nice, thank you.